purpose of me making this video is basically to show you how this specific dryer is basically the old dryer. It's very old, so it does the job, but the main purpose for this video is to show you if your dryer is making a noise like this. It's basically a sound of grounding. A sound of something that's just, think about it, two metal objects touching, and as you turning, and you can see the grounding sound. So I don't know exactly what's going on with it, so that's the reason why I'm making this video, so I can find out. And as I'm checking, so you can see. Now, a lot of people might say, hey, throw it in the trash. Yeah, you can do that, but I'm not the type of guy who just throwing everything in the trash. So anyway, so what we're gonna do now, we know this is not normal. Now the first thing you do before you even trying to do what I'm doing is, of course, if you look a little closer, look at the outlet. My appliance is already unplugged. So the next thing that I'm gonna do is undo the pipe. So once you undo the pipe, you see exactly what I just did. You can get a piece of rag or a dirty piece of clothes and shove it inside a pipe, because you do not want insects or any type of thing to basically make their way inside your house. So I do that just in case, because you don't know how long this project gonna take you, and you have a pipe like that, which is it's a big opening to just stay like this. So basically, most likely you're gonna need a Phillips screwdriver just like this, and this pretty much, and a flat screwdriver and something just like this. So you might want to have, so just in case you have some, if you don't have a Phillips screwdriver, if you don't have screw just like this for that, or flat screw just to use a tool like that, you may need this. So this is the tool component as far as tools you're gonna use most likely for most dryers. So again, this is old dryer, so that's basically what you're gonna need. So once you get that done, and the next thing that you're basically gonna do is, you got a screw here, and you got one there, and you got a couple screws in the back. But once we take these two screws out, I'll flip it and show the back. And basically you got one to here, take that off, make sure your filter is clean. Alright, every time you dry, whatever the amount of clothes that you're drying, every time you finish drying, it doesn't matter whether it's a heavy load or light load, take the filter out and clean it. That will save you a lot of stress in the long run. So now you pretty much see the back of it. So what I'm gonna have to replace, take away, is here, there. This is already loose. Here, here, here. So in total, three, that's 6. about 8 screws. Remove the back, remove that, so I can have access inside the dryer itself. Now the main reason why I was talking about this tool right there instead of the flat screwdriver and the Phillips screwdriver, so some of the screws, this is what it looked like. So yes, I can use a flat screwdriver just to take that out, but this fit right in. So it makes the job a little bit more easy. Majority of the screws is the same way. So that's the reason why this tool is very important. One of the main reasons why I wanted to take the back off, I didn't have to, but I wanted to just to make sure that there's no lint as far as dirt or maybe you'd be surprised like extra pair of socks or clothes, anything that can actually be behind this compartment right here in the back. So I always want to make sure that I take the back off and just make sure this is all clean. And you check your connection right there. You just touch it right there, and then if you see a lot of movement as far as loose, you can go ahead and tighten. Make sure you tighten it and make sure it's snug and good. Your ground is good, the neutral, everything looks pretty good. And the back of the dryer, if I move back a little bit, it's not bad. Cause make sure you clean. You basically you get the pan right there. You take that off, and the last time what I did, I removed the filter compartment right here, and that's where your blower is at. And this is your heating element, so you can remove that, but that's a long story. And you remove that and clean inside of that, and clean all the way in the corners and everything underneath. Because believe you me, you'll be surprised how much debris and stuff you can actually find between this area right here. So make sure you do that at least once a year. Alright, these hooks are very interesting. If you have never take one off, so all you do is just a flat screwdriver, set it right here, and just pop that. Just watch out. It basically just fly anywhere, so just watch out you don't hurt yourself. There's a better way to do it, but hey, just make sure you be careful. So what we just did here, remember we had to undo this part right here, because the reason why I did that, because I wanted to see inside here as far as my wires and everything, like I'm saying, this, so everything was, I had, for instance, you want to make sure that you have no burnt wires, like nothing damaged. So that's the reason why I had to remove this. So once I notified nothing is wrong with the inside this compartment right here, so I went ahead and just make sure put the 2 screws back in there and make sure that once I remove this, or probably like I'm saying, tilt it just the way it is, so this part right there is not flapping and going anywhere. Make my job a little bit easier. So I'm gonna turn this around before I remove this and show you what exactly we are working. So now, as you can see, I have the top up. So basically, once you undo everything as far as the screws, so you can lift the top and just lean it against something. So I have my I use a top just like so, and just let it lean right against it, so because you don't want to damage your connection right here. If you let this go all the way back, you might damage your connection right here, and you don't want to do that. So let it lean just against that. So this is our drum right here. Let's move a little down. So this is our main thing right here. So our belt, it looks, I thought our belt broke, but it looks That looks sturdy. So we're not getting any noise right now. So we're gonna find out, was it something touching or what's going on. So we still have our noise coming. Can you open there? So at this point, what we're gonna do is, we got one screw in here with my finger at, and one screw over there. So we're gonna remove this, both screws, so we can remove the front, and that will give us access to pull the whole drum out. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. So we're gonna get to the bottom of it before we before I basically make a decision. Now, as you are removing, after you remove this one screw right here and another screw on the other end, when you removing this, the door right here, which is the front panel, this wire right here, just be careful. You gotta be very careful with this wire because you see where it runs. Okay, you need to be very careful with this wire. So it goes from here, so right there, the door right here, and it goes, and that's the connection right there in the back. So make sure you be careful with this wire. But pretty much you're gonna do is, from here, I'm probably gonna just undo it just like so. And you got two connections, is orange and white. So orange goes to the left, and white connect to the right. White, orange. So it's only two wires. So if you disconnect them, it's very easy to basically connect them back. Or you can actually get a marker. You label them orange and white. So basically, after you do that, to remove the front panel is slide up, right? You just pull up and remove it. And you put it right there on the side. So now you have the whole drum exposed right in your face. So we're gonna spin it again and see if we're gonna hear something worse. So at this point, it feels a little rough. So what we're gonna do is, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna remove the drum all the way out, and then inspect the back and the motor itself to find out what might be going on with the back and underneath, and possibly our last option is the motor. If anything's wrong with the motor, then my assumption is probably just throw it away. We'll figure it out. So basically, this is the belt. You can call it Serpentine Belt. So when you examining the belt, it's like a normal, any type of belt or Serpentine Belt. So you're looking for crack. The belt look decent. So nothing really affecting the belt. This little tear and wear, that's normal. So the belt is in good shape. We'll put that on the side. And you examine this spot right here, making sure it's attached. It's not split or cracked. While you examine that, if you see this right here is split, I don't know if you can see that. Move it a little bit down. As I was saying, while you're examining this part right here, if you pull that and this whole thing come out, so that needs to be fixed. And if it's damaged, you need to replace it. If you have to. So it looks good. This is attached. So we're gonna remove this. It's just little lips where it clips over here, so they look good. They're nothing damaged. So we're gonna put them inside. And the next thing we're gonna do, we'll move you a little closer. Alright, this is our motor in the back, right here, looking at the big old thing. Our motor spindle is spinning pretty good with no noise. So we're just gonna got a little length, not too much around. Alright, these pulley though, we're probably gonna spray them. This is not spinning free. So this spinning is free. I don't know if you can see that. This one on the side is spinning free. So we're gonna get some WD-40 in and spray on that one, because this one is not spinning free. So that's why it's a little rough. As far as here, we're spinning free here. And this is where our Serpentine Belt underneath basically hooked up at. So the way this is basically hooked like this. Okay, the belt goes around here, goes around there. And this is not spinning free. Also, we're gonna go ahead and clean all this thing, and it's supposed to spin free, and it's not. So we're gonna do that, clean this real good, alright, and then put everything back together, and hopefully the rumbling noise, hopefully stop. And if not, we can decide whether or not to throw it away, because at this point we're not gonna spend too much time on it. Now be aware, you can have a little kitty bank while you're cleaning your dryer. Alright? So this is just a little bit example. You can basically have your kids' college tuition or whatever fund if you do this more often. Just put that in the back of your head. So we got this part right here. Look at how that's been. Better than before, right? Clean it real good. A little bit of WD-40. Make that spin like it's brand new. So after that, we're gonna do the same thing with this. Same thing with that. Just a little bit of spray WD-40. We do the work. And as we mentioned before, a little bit of advice: don't overdoing it. Don't spray too much of that because you know this is flammable. So you don't want to lubricate that too much. Make sure you put enough, and after that, make sure you get a rag and dry it out because this is heat. So I'm gonna exercise this real seriously. I'm gonna enforce this real seriously. Do not put too much. Do not overdoing it. Once again, spray just a little bit. When you're spraying, see, I spray a little bit of here and a little bit on the other side, and spin it as much as you can. The more you spin it, the more whatever the excess remainder just splash out. And after that, you get a rag and dry that. Because again, if you read the label, if you read the can, this whatever around the can, the label, it will tell you, it will explain to you, this is very flammable. So just be very careful. And then once you're done, don't use the dry right away. I would recommend let it sit for at least a few hours and let this thing dry out a little bit. Please. With all that being said, let's continue. So I had to remove this because somehow you got you can see dirt around this thing right here, and when you spin this, you can hear it's not spinning free. So basically, that was the one over here. Just like so. And this little funny ship thing looks like a triangle, right? So that was basically right there. Anyway, all you have to do is basically made out of plastic. So you gotta be very careful so you don't break there. You get a little flat screwdriver, insert it somewhere on the side, and pry it out a little bit. You gotta be very careful you don't break that. And that's snug all the way in the back right here where you see the little groove. That's the groove. And this thing right there just go right here. Then you have a little washer that goes after that just to prevent this from coming out. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean that real good. So at this point, this is what it looks like. Clean it real good. This is what you want. Alright. Then we're gonna go ahead and place that. So just snuggle, come out. So I'm gonna spray just a little light WD-40. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. And you're gonna spin it. So we're gonna do the same thing with this side right here. Same thing over here. So that one is clean. See the difference? That's a big difference. Spin real good. So that's what you want. It's really good. We clean that real good. Take all the dust, the lint, everything. So we pretty much got the chip. So basically right now, what's gonna happen right now is we're gonna put everything the same way we found them. We mentioned that before. It's been real nice. Everything is gonna be the same way. Just like so. Just go like that. Just like so. And what's gonna hold that is basically the belt gonna hold it just like that. And the big round thing, which is the drum, gonna be over there. And these, and nothing really go to there. So that is basically the other side of the drum where there's a groove. Okay, and these just sit right there and control the drum. Is basically balance the drum from when the drum is spinning. It balances just to spin nicely and center. So we're gonna back away from there. Just want to show you that I went ahead and make sure I put that back in. So even though I did it without showing you, but just want to make sure I show you that. Now the fun part, when you placing the Serpentine Belt, see that groove right here? Smooth, real smooth. And this groove right there where the other side where you got the little groove in between. So you got to make sure the smooth part basically make contact with the body of the drum. So I'm gonna put my thumb on the smooth part right here. My index finger will be on the other side. So thumb right here. So you're gonna see. So thumb. See, this is my thumb. The index finger is on top. That's the glue part. If you put it the other way, it's not gonna work. The Serpentine Belt is not gonna last, should I say. And make sure you're doing it all the way around. And make sure it doesn't twist. It doesn't turn. Okay, so make sure it's all the way around just like that. Once you have it just like that, all the way around, it's not going to be accurate until you place it in there. So the only way it goes is this part right here goes facing the back. If you put it the other way, of course you're going to notice that, because this is your front. This is where you insert the gloves. Okay? So we're going to have it sit just like that. You got to work it a little bit. Just like so. So now I'm going to go underneath and adjust it. So now how we're gonna adjust this is basically put that little right here. So this will go in here. That's the belt. All right, make sure everything's straight. Let's make sure everything is straight. That's the belt. All right, so you insert it in here, see that, and it come out in here. Now this has become a tensioner. So this is a tension where you're gonna pry this. You're gonna lift this up. You're gonna pry this. Like that's a tensioner. The more you pry it from here, see that? So the more you have enough slot to put this over this thing just like so. See that? That's a tensioner. You pry this forward, then it gives you room to work with this. You're gonna make sure everything is smooth. So you're gonna have to adjust it just a little bit. See, you wanna make sure it's smooth. See that? So, and that's how you adjust it. And make sure it's center too. If it's not center, then you're gonna have a problem because your whole drum will be just unbalanced. It will just move from side to side. So you don't want that. So this is good. Your groove is good. Make sure that. And basically this is, and make sure this is tight. So it goes to the groove. Let's turn this a little. See, it's sitting tight, sitting straight. The way it's supposed to be. It's not moving around. Make sure you wiggle it a little bit so everything is smooth. Now, of course, you're checking from the top. Alright, so everything line up, and you still have your groove. This is what you want to see, facing up, not down. So this is exactly what you're supposed to look like. So anyway, basically, we place the top back on there. Everything back on there. We're gonna give it a spin. So it's better than how it was before. So we've pretty much done as far as for now. We're gonna just push it back on the wall, hooked up our pipe or whatever, and we should be good to go. Once again, we're not gonna plug it right away, so we're gonna let it sit for about a few hours. Let the DW dry for that period of time, and we should be good to go. All right, guys, appreciate it.